Right, so
Hello.
hello, we've got a special guest today.
I tell you what, fair play to Jessica and Jean. My palms are sweaty. I don't like it at all.
It's only because you're hot indoors and see that studio in the background where I'm at. I forgot to put the heating on last night. It's bloody freezing in here.
Oh,
So it's nice to have you on, Lisa. I don't know whether people have seen you before, but this is my lovely wife, and she helps me so much with Brush Wizards. She's working full time on it. She reins me in when I have crazy ideas, and yeah, it's been nice to work with you over what, a couple of years now.
yeah. So I went part time, didn't I? And
Mm.
was working sort of part time in a job and part time with you from my full time job, and then now full time with you. So yeah, probably it is a couple of years now.
But you do chuck me out in the garden shed, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't cope with the sound of a mouse clicking and a keyboard tapping and whatever else I
Yeah.
need.
But I'm kind of one finger like.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
we sort of come up with an idea to chat a bit more on the podcast and talk about what we do and basically, you know, from a wife's point of view, living with a painter and decorator, and just different scenarios where we might be able to help our audience. So for this particular subject, we want to talk about, or you want to talk about Christmas, and hopefully we can help some people.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're just talking about we want to get back to our roots, don't we? Which is
Yeah.
all the wellness stuff that Gary is so passionate about and built this group based on that. So I've just read a book recently called Have Yourself a Minimalist Christmas by Meg Nordman. And it was just quite a good book, all about having an intentional Christmas, keeping it calm, stress free, what you can do to make the festive period a bit calmer for you. So I was telling Gary about it, and I just thought it would be quite a good topic to talk about you. I've got my Christmas jumper on.
Very nice.
Um,
I've
yeah,
got my
I love
Christmas socks on,
Workwear.
but I can't bend my legs high enough.
Please don't get your feet out. Please don't get your feet out. No one needs to see that.
Oh, all right, all right.
Um, so yeah, basically, it's all about, as I said, having an intentional Christmas. It's quite stressful sometimes, as much as we all love, well, we don't all love, I love the excitement, the anticipation, the magic. I'm all over it. I love it. But it can be stressful at the same time. It can be, stressful thinking about how you're going to pay for Christmas, all the mess that all the new gifts and toys and presents will bring into your house, overwhelming, just everything you have to do with all your work and whatever else. So it's just some tips and thoughts on, yeah.
Yeah. So before we dive in, I mean, just everything you've said then from a decorator's point of view, like, you know, you'd start in November listening to Christmas music, and I'm like, right, let me just get my head down, get work done, get finished up. But it is, you know, I find it hard to switch off sometimes in terms of getting the money in, what's coming up in January, tax bills, and all that kind of stuff. But you help me kind of put it all in order and rationalise a bit better. So yeah, and especially, you know, we've spoken before we come on, and just with some of these new ideas and tips. So looking forward to hearing them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and there's some people that aren't as fortunate as us that have a like balanced partnership. They might be on their own or not with a supportive partner. So, there's all different things you have to think about and how you can sort of make it work for your circumstances.
Definitely.
So my first tip
Come on, let's
of
dive in.
the so the lead up to the Christmas, it's, I would say, a big thing is decluttering. So it's sort of really having a think about your home and what's going to make things less stressful when you start getting all the new stuff introduced into your house. So if you've got kids, for example, we all know their little bits and pieces of their toys that they get everywhere, they're scattered everywhere. You might not have a complete set of a toy, so it's just going through, sorting through all of their stuff, putting sets together, looking at what they've used since last Christmas, or what they haven't used. And then you can think about, okay, so I'm not going to buy that because we've already got something similar to that, or I'm not going to buy that type of present again because it doesn't get used. So it starts you thinking about, intentional buying, so you're not just buying for the sake of it.
We often found that, didn't we? We were like, right, let's be ruthless and chuck stuff out. But it'd be sod's law, wouldn't it? They wouldn't use something for like 12 months. And then you chuck it out and they'd be like, Dad, where's my XYZ? But
100%. You can
it's
guarantee
like, they seem to have an inbuilt radar. But like you say, just Christ, over the years when our kids were younger, amount of clutter and crap.
Wow, it was crazy. We tried various different things on how to organise their toys over the years. In fact, there's something I want to read that's about decluttering your house. So maybe we'll come back to that in the new year and talk about how to organise your toys to make things a bit easier.
Yeah, so chuck a load of toys out, stuff that's missing, just be ruthless, get rid of it.
And things like our kids always got craft sets, didn't they? And it was very easy to just think, I haven't got time to play with that, and you kind of put it aside. If you come across that, why don't you get it out? And during December, it's a perfect opportunity to do it with them. So actually, if they get a craft set for Christmas, they're not going to be like, oh, what's the point in getting this? We don't use them anyway. It'll be fresh in their mind. They'll remember that they really enjoyed sitting there doing it with you, or you set it up for them and they sat there doing it while you were getting all with some bits, and they'll be a bit more excited about getting it. It's just...
Yeah, they were often the best times, when the kids were younger and when you had spent time with them just doing craft sets.
100%. Yeah, that's what kids want, isn't it? To spend time with you.
Definitely. All right, so we're getting rid of loads of gear.
Getting rid of loads of
gifts.
What else? So, for example, for me, I have this built-in cupboard in our bedroom that I always put the Christmas presents in to store them until it's time to wrap or time to give out. That was full of crap. All year, it's just had stuff thrown in there. So I spent a weekend and I've literally decluttered it. And yes, it's still got some in there because it's got all of our photos and I've got little memory boxes with special cards from each other and from parents and grandparents. So sort of special things are sort of kept in there. But I've sorted it out completely, and I don't feel stressed because I know I've got enough room to go and hide the presents as and when I get them and keep them.
Normally it'd be carnage, wouldn't it, trying to close the door of all the stuff. And how many link sets did you find?
I would say please don't buy any link sets.
It's always a running joke, isn't it? There's so many, isn't it?
Actually, I've got them out of the box, and why would you not use them at the gym? And James goes to the gym, our son, so they will be used.
Yeah, hopefully my mother-in-law's not listening. Sorry, Mum.
And then think about your space. So, for example, if you love sitting there watching a Christmas movie in the evening, make sure it's clutter-free. Make it cozy, get some little candles, blankets, make it like a cozy, festive environment to, watch a film. Or if you're going to have a lot of hosting, just make sure that you've got everything ready. So where, if you use a tablecloth, where that is, your special festive plates, or just have everything ready so it's good to go for when you entertain, and it's not overwhelming getting everything ready for when they arrive, basically.
And I think as well, like everything we're saying here, we're not making out we're perfect. It's really, honestly, only the last year or two, haven't we? We've been quite, ruthless in getting rid of stuff.
Yeah.
We've been, when the kids were younger, just an absolute nightmare trying to find space for everything. But in hindsight, we should have been implementing this stuff when the kids were younger.
100%.
Looking back, I think it's because ours are a little bit older now and they still have loads of stuff, but
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we've got the space to sort of sit back and think about it because they are a bit older. But also, I think I get a lot of guilt if people buy presents. I feel really guilty and I need to keep them. I can't get rid of them and things like that, which adds up over the years, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
So the next on my list is decorations. Now, I would say this is a very sort of nuanced thing. I love Christmas. I love decorations. I can't get my decorations up quick enough, as you know. I've even been known one year to pimp our car with tinsel and God knows what, poor Gary,
Yeah,
honestly.
that's
I
why
don't
I
do
love my van, you know.
So I love it. I love being OTT. But at the same time, there's so much pressure nowadays to be Instagram perfect, have this amazing tree, all the stuff. But we don't need all of the stuff, basically,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying. Don't feel pressured into buying new decorations every year. You can rinse and repeat. You can make it easy for yourself. You can take photos of it when you put them up this year and remember for next year. So you know where everything goes, you know where everything has its place. And yeah, basically.
Definitely. Yeah, we might again, you know what I'm like. I'm like, oh, we need some more outside lights, don't we? And then I bought some, and then I was like, oh shit, we've already got I don't know how many sets.
Yeah, but
Um,
that's the whole point. We can donate them to charity. And
yeah, that's
that's,
right.
we'll go around to our charity shop. That will do someone a great turn.
Yeah, yeah. We haven't bought anything really, have we, for the last few years because we
To be
just
fair,
maxed
those lights
out.
probably don't even work properly because we've had them for so many years, haven't we? In all
Yeah,
honesty.
definitely. Yeah,
And then there's the classic elf on the shelf.
yeah. There's
Oh, I'm
been a lot of
so glad.
conversation around this.
I'm so glad we didn't have to go down that road, aren't we? Our kids just missed that. I think our
Yeah.
youngest was like, "Oh, I really want an elf on the shelf," and we were like, we managed to swerve it, and then she was too old for it anyway. So
Yeah.
I'm relieved. It's such a tricky one because I think it does bring such joy to kids. It's lovely, but it's just that extra pressure for a parent to remember what to do, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. I mean, just briefly, a few people have been chatting about it in the Brush Wizards group, and I was speaking to a guy earlier, and he's like, the kids absolutely love it, but they love it so much they're doing all the laying out bits and bobs, but they're taking the elf to bed. So he's having to wake up at 5 a.m., sneak in, pull the bloody elf
God.
from his daughters, and then get it all set up and stuff. And it's like, oh man, it's your kids love it, but
Yeah,
you're already burnt out. It's the end of the year and stuff, and
exactly.
it's got
I
to be an
think
easier way.
I think you don't have to be forced into doing these things, but that's easier said than done because if everyone's got the elf on the shelf, you want to do that for your kid. I think the only way to make it easier is to get a plan already so you've got every like date in December covered. You know what you're going to do, so it's not 10 o'clock at night. Oh shit, I haven't done the elf. I
Yeah,
need to like, what can I do? You already know.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
it might get to 10 o'clock and you suddenly remember, but at least you can look at your little plan and be like, oh, okay, I can do that. That's fine.
Yeah, I admire. I do like looking at it, though. I admire the parents for doing it and some of the ideas. But yeah, Christ, when you're busy enough and trying to wrap up jobs and, like I say, you're already a bit burnt out. It's like, oh no, I'm glad we didn't have that stress.
Yeah, what is it about this time of year? Everyone is just so done and needing a break. Like,
Yeah,
it's just exhausting, isn't it, for everyone?
yeah, we've
I
been
can
saying that.
understand for you guys, like, trying to get all your jobs finished and
Yeah,
everyone wants their house perfect before Christmas, don't they? So it's a lot of pressure for you.
yeah, and we've been saying as well. Just we've felt knackered lately, and it's just everything, isn't it? It's a dark night. It's been raining non-stop. It seems forever,
Yeah,
and it's just yeah, it's a tough time of year.
yeah, definitely. Definitely. So, moving on, it's getting a plan in place. As we talk about, you're so busy, but there's so many festive things that you have to or want to do. So it's basically just having a look at your calendar, having a look at your plans, and trying to work out how you can do it, what you must do, and what you would like to do, and if you can fit that in. So basically have a look, for example, if you've got kids at school, hard plans would be their nativity play that you've got to go and watch, the Christmas dinner, the nativity, did I say nativity? You know, the school things, the many school things, they are in there. If you have your must-have Santa visit that you have every year as a family, it's working out what date you're going to do, and that goes in the diary, and that's that. If you're a single parent, you plot in the dates that they're going to be with their other parent, so you know those dates can't be touched, and then you work around that, and whatever dates you've got left, you can have a think about other things that you might like to do, and you can slot them in, like having a drive around looking at the Christmas lights, going to the church for a carol concert, I don't know, all the sort of free activities that may be around, or paid activities that you might want to do, but it just makes it a bit easier to plan like a festive night out if you want to have a night out with your friends or family or whatever.
And also as well being strong enough to sort of say no if it's too much.
Exactly that.
Because again, you know, some of us might be working weekends, and you know, mates might want to go out and stuff, and it's just, there is such a massive build up always. I mean, we love, like I said, love Christmas, but I over the years hate what comes with it, you know, and the busyness and everything else, and I think that's what we're trying to do, is sort of strip it back, aren't we? And
100%.
Because, you know, once the day's over, it's like, oh my God, all that fuss, all the credit card debt, and you know, we all do it, but I think the point is just don't feel so much pressure to do everything.
That's right. I think you have to be kind to yourself, and if that means saying no to the pressure of a night out, you know, choose a night out that you're going to get the most out of, was going to be the most important to you. The rest of them, if you can't afford it, if you haven't got time for it, if you're too exhausted for it, it is okay to say no. And in fact, this Saturday, I'm supposed to be on a night out with friends. It's right up my street. It's at the local pub. It'd be all Christmassy. They've got a band playing. I love going to a band. I love having a dance. I love my friends. But I am exhausted, and we've got a really full-on busy day on Saturday. And then Sunday, I'm going Christmas shopping with our daughter. And actually, I don't want to be hungover and tired and probably a bit moody. I want it to be, she's so excited to spend the day Christmas shopping with me. I want to have that experience without it being spoilt. So I've said no, and it is disappointing, but there will be other nights out, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, New Year's often good as well, isn't it? That sort of, when you're on a bit of a come down, it's like, oh, New Year, and then you've got a few months until it starts to get a bit warmer. They're the nights to probably get together and try and make them go a bit quicker.
Yeah, definitely. And I think you have to think about in advance the actual Christmas days. Like, you want to be ahead of the game, have a plan in place. Like, when our kids were little, we used to cram in, so like we're very fortunate our families live in the same town as us. We sort of alternate, don't we, seeing one family one year and the other family the other. But we used to cram in the other family that we weren't seeing for Christmas dinner and for the day. They would come round to ours for breakfast. And it was just too much, wasn't it? The kids would be opening their presents and they'd be like, right, I've got to get ready.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it was a difficult one, wasn't it? Because let's say they're all excited, want to play with toys, and then we're like, right, we've got to go now.
Yeah, it was too much. So we sort of talked about it, didn't we? And we just spoke to our parents and we said, look, we really want to see it, but it's just too much. So we'd like to just dedicate the day to that set of grandparents and be able to enjoy the morning with the children, and once they've opened their presents, not rushing them. Yeah. And then on the Boxing Day, we'll spend the quality time with that family without just... It's too overwhelming for all involved, to be honest, isn't it? So it just worked well. It's
interesting as well, like, you know, Christmas Day and, like you say, all the Insta photos and all the rest of it. But the likelihood here is 9 out of 10 of families will be arguing, be stressing, be shouting. You know, it's like, it's real life. That's what it's like, isn't it? But then
Yeah,
that's okay as well, because that's just part of,
yeah,
a mad
exactly.
family.
Yeah. Well, do you remember one year we hosted for 19 people?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
It
we haven't got a
was
big house.
crazy. It was yeah. We haven't got a big house. It's a makeshift. Was it even your wallpapering table? Maybe
Probably.
set up. I think it was. And then your mum had this little picnic bench, as well as
Yeah,
our dining room table. We were all crammed in. I was making do with my double oven with only 3 shelves.
yeah.
It was chaotic. It was before we had our dog. I put a blanket on the floor and was dishing up dinner on the floor.
I remember. Yeah,
It was crazy, but fun times. Stressful,
yeah,
but fun times.
yeah. Definitely.
So it's just working out, what works for you and what's, going to be the
Absolutely.
least stress and calmness for your family.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, next thing is finances.
Hmm.
So obviously this is a big. Sorry, Gary. I feel like I'm just going blah, 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 but I
No,
am.
no, no, no. I want, you've read the book and everything else, so absolutely.
So yeah, it's just all about working out what your budget is and sticking to it. So I think early on in the year, Jessica gave good tips, didn't she? That she puts money aside throughout the year, so she's got enough money to save for Christmas, which is great.
Yeah,
Other people might put it on the credit card and then pay it off over the next year, which isn't ideal because you're always chasing your tail. But however you can make it work, you need to budget and stick to it. So sort of look at all the areas of Christmas. So all your presents, what you're gonna buy for people. If you're hosting, how much that's all gonna cost. And don't go over it. I think you need to kind of be honest with people as well, like Secret Santa and buy in for like your friends' kids and
oh yeah,
sort of obligatory gifts you're sort
yeah,
of forced into. And I know that sounds really bar humbug, you're forced into, but I think you just have to have honest conversations with people and just say, look, instead of doing Secret Santa, instead of buying each other's kids presents, why don't we go out and take them somewhere one day in the year, and we'll have a lovely day out, and memories can be made rather than a gift that they might not want, and you're forced into spending money that you might not have.
yeah,
It's just you've got to be honest and upfront. And Secret Santa, like I used to be in like the corporate world, and it is fun. We go out for a Christmas lunch or something, and you'd exchange gifts. And there was a couple of people in the office, and I can remember them saying, "No, I actually don't want to participate." And I can remember us all being really like, "Oh, why don't they want to join in?" Like,
yeah,
"Oh, little Grinch," and being really quite mean about it. But actually, why can't they say no? They actually might not be able to afford to buy a present. They might just not want to, which is absolutely fair enough.
yeah,
Or they might actually find Christmas really hard. They might have lost a loved one and, just not want to do it. I just think we all need to be a bit kinder and mindful about how other people are and not be so judgy. And I completely hold my hands up. I definitely was one of them.
yeah. But everything again, what we're saying, it's not a preach. It's all like lessons we've learned, isn't it? So in the past, I know we were Secret Santas left, right, and centre, kids for our kids' friends and parents, and it's just insane amount of
Yeah.
presents. Whereas now
Yeah.
we've definitely streamlined it, and I don't know whether it's happening this year, but we were talking about even amongst the nieces and nephews and stuff, just doing a Secret Santa between
Yeah.
like sisters and sister-in-laws. So you're just buying one present as opposed to everyone a present.
Yeah, but it
Um,
still doesn't work out like that because it's a present, like everyone was put in the mix the last time we did it. So we
right.
still ended up buying 5 gifts, so to speak,
Mm,
because do you know what I mean? It wasn't just a let's put the kids in and draw it out. You have to be, yes, that's lovely to do, but I think you just need to be a bit more intentional with what your budget is and what you're comfortable with, and just be honest and just say, actually, that's still too much money, you know.
Yeah, but even like, say for example, just an example, give your brother-in-law like say some money, and then he gives me some money. Well, you're just
Yeah,
cancelling each other out, right? What's the
exactly.
point?
It's completely pointless. I just think it's pointless,
Yeah,
definitely.
and even like my parents, and your mum, we've given instead of gifts like maybe experiences or meal out or an event or something later in
Yeah.
the year, or because they got everything. They don't need any more crap, do
They
they?
don't need anything. That's right. So you sort of buy something for the sake of it, really, and it's like, don't
Yeah,
really need that, but thanks.
yeah,
You know,
definitely.
let's face it, we're a throwaway culture now. If you want something, you get it throughout the year, and especially our parents' sort of age group, without the ties that we all have financially,
Yeah,
they've got everything they need, and if they want something, they just go and get it. So
yeah, and
presents over presents
yeah, yeah.
is much more important.
And again, it all boils down to this one day. You know, it's all commercialised. I'm not being a Grinch, but you know,
Yeah, a little.
I am a little bit. But we're bombarded, aren't we, for bloody weeks on
Yeah,
end,
totally.
and then that it's over, and I don't want that feeling of like, oh, it's all done. You kind of want to experience the lead up to it, which I do love. And then after, still enjoy it, and not knowing that you've got a house full of rubbish you've
Yeah,
got to get rid of, and a ton of debt, And again, all
yeah,
this is easier said than done, I know, because you've got kids and pressures, and they've got
yeah,
fashions and all sorts. But just try and be more mindful and not kind of just
yeah.
sucked into it all.
That's right, exactly. I just think, what do you remember from when you were a kid? For me, I can remember decorating the tree. We always had the same tape playing with Shakin' Stevens and all the classics, Cliff Richard and whatever else. We always had the same Christmas tape playing. I
Mm,
remember the smell of the decorations when they came out of the loft. I can remember the excitement of remembering our favourite sort of baubles and whatever else and putting them on the
yeah,
tree. I remember sitting on my mum and dad's bed, opening the stocking and looking out of the window to see if we could see the sleigh disappearing. My grandparents come around for dinner, just that warm, nostalgic, lovely feeling. Yes, I remember the anticipation of getting presents, but I do remember the odd thing, but I don't remember what I opened, what I got. It was
no,
more the feeling that I remember. And I think you've got to remember, yes, there is the pressure to give your kids like this massive pile of presents and
mm,
everything they want off their list. But they don't need or want everything off that list. It's
no,
more the excitement of the anticipation of what they might get. If they get
yeah,
everything off their list, it's not good. The anticipation's gone, isn't it? Because they know that
yeah.
what they're getting, you know?
Well, we all know, they get a sack full of presents, and it's the excitement seeing a massive sack full of stuff, and then they're opening it all up, and we take turns, don't we? We sit in a circle, do one present each. But there's always that, not when they were younger, but as they got a bit older, they were like, oh, got a bit of money, can I go to the sales tomorrow, or, so it's like, it's not all about the gifts. And from what I remember, definitely, the old-fashioned lanterns in the 80s and 90s or whatever, and the old tacky decorations, grandparents coming round, prawn cocktail starters all the time. Shame you don't like prawns. Uh, but like just like the meal and stuff, and getting together with family. There's no specific presents other than looking at photos, which probably a false belief. It's just through looking at
Yeah.
photos, really.
I do remember one I didn't get though, Mr. Frosty. I'm still so bitter about that.
Mr. Frosty, Christ, do they still sell them, don't they?
I don't know. I don't know. It's probably still being sold and no one's buying it for their kids.
Yeah, probably done you a favour. All the colouring in there, you probably
Yeah,
would have done you
yeah.
in.
I think as well, be intentional with the presents you're buying for your kids. So it doesn't have to be everything off their list or everything they want, but just be a bit more intentional. So um, things they sort of be strategic about it. Stuff they like immediate gratification on the day. Stuff that they will open and be so excited about. Oh my god! and then have a mix of stuff that is sort of more long-term use throughout the year, and then you can bulk it up with stuff that they actually need, are going to get bought anyway, like pajamas and things like that, you know. So it's just a bit more strategic and not just a load of took.
Yeah. Just what come to mind from a decorator's point of view, it is a stressful time. You know, you've seen me stress with work, you know, what's coming in January, February, which are quieter kind of months.
Yeah.
Tax always due, that kind of stuff. But one thing I would say is, and you always said it to me, it always works out. I mean, over the 25 plus years, you know, I've been painting, it always has worked out, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, we've always found the money, we've always found the money for tax, and I think the key is, my message would be, just try and switch off for a week or so, and
definitely.
really enjoy it and be present rather than worry about bills and stuff. Because, like I say, when I look back at times where I was worried, it always came in. So just be present for that. We don't get much time off. You know, maybe in the summer holiday if we're lucky, and, you know, winter time because of the time of year, but just enjoy the moment.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Just be present and try and switch off and just really enjoy spending time either with your family or by yourself, recharging, so you're ready to hit the next year, you know, full guns blazing.
Definitely. You got any more tips for us, Lisa?
I think the only other thing I would say, money-wise, is it's okay to buy second-hand toys. We did that.
Yeah.
Like, for example, we bought the Tower of Doom set, and we got, like, the Tower of Doom, which was an early learning centre toy, this big tower for boys, and loads of figures that came with it for, I don't know, 20 quid or whatever we paid for it, or less than that, I don't know. It was an amazing present. James got years of play with that. But
tell them you're going to say a couple of funny incidents.
Oh God, we have had some baths. I was going to say, if you bought them individually, it would cost you hundreds of pounds.
Yeah,
you know,
of course,
if you bought all the figures separately in that Tower of Doom. So buy second hand. Kids don't care about boxes and fresh; they won't know. Just give it a clean up, and it's good to go.
So
but
give them.
If you want to shame us,
go on. I want to shame us. Give us 2 incidents where our kids certainly did know.
Okay. I thought naively that I was getting a steal of 2 different items off of eBay. So there were these LOL dolls that were all the rage. I don't know if they still are now, but they're like those sort of dolls that you take all the wrapping off and then you get this stupid little figure inside it. And it was a set of 3 for eBay that was like a really great price. I was like, oh my God, amazing. She's going to get 3 LOL
They were normally a tenner, weren't they? I think tenner each minimum.
Yeah, I can't remember what I paid for the 3 of them. Anyway, poor little Daisy Doo sat there opening them up. And she was like, oh, I don't think these are real LOL dolls. And we were like, yes, they are. Of course they are. She's like, no, these are LQL dolls. They were total rip-offs, weren't they? I felt so bad. And then, what was the other one?
James's tracksuit bottoms. Tottenham.
Yeah. So basically, he's a Man U supporter. Gary's a Man U supporter.
I wasn't too disappointed, about these.
And he switched teams all of a sudden to be with his cousin, didn't he? To become a Tottenham fan. And he wanted this Tottenham tracksuit. Gary, they're so expensive, really expensive.
So it wasn't intentional what we bought, right? It wasn't intentional, despite being Spurs.
But yeah, I was begrudged buying a tracksuit outright, knowing that, you know, he probably would go back to Man U at some point, which he did. Anyway, it turned up, and this was an eBay purchase. It was just so obviously fake. I showed Gary, he was like, Lisa, that's fake. I was like, what? And it was like, what is it called, a motive or mascot or whatever it is, a little badge.
Yeah.
It was like like this very thick.
It was like printed on, wasn't it? It's like the t-shirts we do here.
It was like a thing that was like sewn on. It just was really awful.
Yeah, he knew straight away. He's like, these are fake. And he wasn't that old, was he? And I was like,
So
oh.
actually, there's me cutting corners trying to save money, but in the long run, I bought a load of tat that didn't get used and
Yeah.
wasted money. So
But on certain items which are real, secondhand, like you say, the Tower of Doom,
yeah, absolutely, I'm all
it does
for it. I'm
work.
all over vintage. I love it.
Yeah. Well, it's been lovely to talk to you, Lisa.
Yes, you too.
Get a cup of tea on for me.
Yeah, you
I'm
can do
frozen
that.
out here. But yeah, no, it's been great. And we want to do some more, don't we? And just talk about various subjects about what's affected us over the years in terms of
Yeah.
work-life balance, the struggles we've had, the successes we've had. And I think we want to come on and do different stuff each. We're not sure how frequent to do it, but certainly at least one a month, and just see if we can help people and hopefully share some wisdom.
Yeah. Well, thank
All
you
right.
for having me as a guest.
Oh, you're welcome. It's been a pleasure. But yeah, I'll see you in a minute.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.